And we're pleased to welcome to our Telile studios one of the candidates running in District 1 for Richmond County in this municipal election cycle. We welcome to Telile 24/7 Shawn Samson. Shawn, thank you for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you, Adam. Thanks for having me, and thanks to the entire staff at Telile, Becky, Dennis, yourself, and to Cora. For us, it's a great opportunity to put our message out there and for our residents to see what we have to say and to promote what we have to say. So thank you to all of you here at Telile.
Oh, you're very welcome. Yeah. We're very happy to help out for
Thank
sure.
You. Yeah.
So this is your first campaign, is it? Your first municipal campaign?
Yeah, for sure. It's my first kick at the can. Yeah, so it's interesting for sure. Yeah.
How has it gone so far?
Very well, very well. I've lived here all my life, Adam, so I know everyone on this island. I know everybody in my district, the seniors, the young people, the families, the family trees. I know all these people, so it's been quite easy for me, so to go there and to have discussions with people and sit down. And, my wife laughs, and when I get home and she's like, oh, geez, how many people did you see today? And I'm like, 6 or 7.
No.
I'm like, I joke, I say I'll be ready for 2024, not 2020, right? But I've enjoyed the many conversations and seeing all the people I've seen so far, right? It's been great.
That's terrific. Laying down the groundwork for future campaigns, I would imagine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I'm just curious, how are you dealing with all of that in these pandemic times? Have you been able to reach out to people and get to them, even though you might not get to the doorstep all that much?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, most people, I just stay back. I've put a pamphlet together for everyone. I personally handwritten a message on every pamphlet with their names and wishing them well. And I knock on the door, and if I feel comfortable and they feel comfortable, then for sure I go in and spend some time with them. You can almost tell when they answer the door, Adam, how they're feeling about that situation. And so it's been going well. I've been in many houses, had numerous conversations, but if they're uncomfortable, then of course I just leave my pamphlet behind and thank them for their time, and my email address and phone numbers on the pamphlet. And if they have any questions, they can reach out to me at any time. Right? So yeah, but it's been going well. Yeah.
After many years in sales, especially in the food industry, you're getting used to selling yourself right now.
Well, I tell everybody, Adam, and I tell all my potential clients when I go on the road and sell for my employer, I tell all my clients this: if I don't sell myself to you, I'll never sell anything to you. So, and I've taken that same approach with my residents. So if they don't buy my platform, if they don't buy my message, if they don't respect Shawn as a counselor, then I won't get their vote. Very much the same as trying to sell, and trying to sell yourself to a customer. Very much the same, right? So,
right on.
Yeah.
We'll talk a little bit about the sales pitch you're giving as Shawn Samson, candidate for District 1 in just a moment. But I want to ask you, before we get to that, what are you hearing when you speak to residents about the issues? What are they saying to you, and what are some of their concerns?
Well, of course, Adam, I mean, it goes back to the scandals and the public backlash and the forensic audits and the firing of some CEOs, and people have a sour taste in their mouth over that situation. And what I'm hearing a lot of is that it's done almost behind closed doors. It's almost done without any public consultation, any public input. It's done where the counselor doesn't go knock on doors and say, this may be our next step. It might cost us this. It might mean this to the community and this to our council and to our county. There's none of that, and that's what's discouraging to a lot of people, right? And that's been part of my platform: more public consultation, more public input. Reach out to the people. I say it's not my district; it's our district. It's not my vote; it's our vote, right? I'm not there to rule our district. I'm there to represent it and represent the whole community. Right?
So what are some ways that you feel that you can do that and you can change the current climate around the municipal council here in Richmond County?
I mean, for me, like I said at the forum, we can't stop campaigning after the election. For the next 4 years, we got to keep campaigning. We got to promote ourselves and our ideas to council. And we got to work together. And we also got to promote our ideas and ourselves to the public and to our residents and to everybody in Richmond County. For me, again, I talked about town halls, quarterly town hall meetings. So I'll book the hall in Little Lance. I'll book the hall in Pettigrew. I'll book the Picasso. I'll book the New Horizons Senior Club every 3 months or so. Maybe I sit there by myself, Adam, or maybe there's an abundance of people that show up that want to talk and have issues and want to resolve some issues, and maybe they have plans for the county. Maybe they have some ideas for the county. That's what's going to move us forward as a group. Public consultation, public input, quarterly town halls, and letting the people have a voice. They're going to have a voice October 17th. Why not let them have a voice for the 4 years that we're around the council table?
All 365 days of the year they have a voice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You might be interested to know that the day after that candidates forum here at Telile, when you said that about never stopping campaigning,
Yeah.
I was interviewing District 3 candidate Melanie Sampson in Lewisdale, and
Yes.
she brought that up, and
Yes.
she mentioned you by name. So it looks
Yes.
like you're already making an impact on your fellow candidates.
Yes.
Do you think that the message is getting through to the people in District 1? Are you getting a receptive welcome on the doorsteps, or when you speak to people about whether they should vote for you?
Very much so, Adam. Yeah, and it was very good of Melanie to share my message and to say that that's a great idea on Shawn's part, and he put it well, and people are accepting that message, and the fact that I'm going to go knock on doors after I'm elected. I've had one person tell me, "Gee, Shawn, you're here. Maybe you're not going to be here anymore in 4 years' time, or for the next 4 years you won't." And my promise to them, Adam, was this: I said, if I'm not going to be here one time in 4 years, I'm not coming back. That's my promise to you. I will know I did you wrong. I will know I proved you right by not coming back here in numerous times within my 4-year term, and I'd be too embarrassed to show back up. So no, I'm going to be knocking on doorsteps after the election. There's no doubt about it. Yeah.
All right. I want to ask you as well, what are some of the other issues do you feel need to be addressed within District 1 in particular, and maybe Richmond County as a whole? What are some of the priority items for you? If Shawn Samson wins District 1 and he's sworn in, what are the day 1, day 2 priorities for you?
For me, it's always been tourism, always, and the seniors. The self-isolation that seniors face today, some of them don't have internet, some of them, live in rural areas, so they're facing social isolation. We have to reach out to these people. We have to better communicate with these people. When it comes to tourism, I grew up going to the campsite, swimming in the campsite lake. All the lots were full at them. Campers, RVs, the cottages were full. People were all over that place for years, and it hasn't been replaced in 25 or 30 years, and for me, being dependent on rural communities with my job, Lunenburg, Mahone Bay, Shetty Camp, Badek, Cavendish PEI, all these places have destinations for people to stay, and unfortunately Almadam doesn't, and to me that's got to be a top priority, right? So tourism, seniors, engaging with seniors, right? So those would be priorities for sure.
I've asked a couple of people in terms of tourism for Almadam, does it feel like Almadam has to put in almost double the effort that a lot of other tourism locations would, because drivers coming through Richmond County have to make that conscious choice to turn off, right, and to take the off-ramp and to go right to Almadam as opposed to it being on the way to someplace else. So
right.
Is that part of the strategy for you to make Almadam a destination as opposed to an afterthought?
That's right, exactly, for sure. You have to give people a reason to get off exit 46 off the Highway 104. You have to. Once you get them off exit 46 and across the Lennox Passage Bridge, that's where the work begins. You have to give them time to stay here. I've always said, Adam, that retention is just as important, if not more important, than procurement. If you're going to gain one thing and lose two, you're falling behind. So if you're going to get a tourist on this island and lose him within a couple of hours of him being here, you're not doing yourself any good. Yeah. You're not doing Almadam any good. We have to give these people reasons to stay here for 3-4 days, a week, whatever it takes. But you have to give them options for destinations. You have to give them options for retention. And that needs to be a key for Almadam for sure. Yeah.
Right. We're coming into the home stretch of this interview, and I want to ask you a question that I have asked all the other candidates that I've spoken to over the course of this election. Who has inspired you and who has motivated you, both in the current moment and over the years, in terms of wanting to serve the public? Yeah. Who are the one or two people that you would turn to, either personally or in spirit, that guide you in times like this?
Yeah. For me, Adam, it's hard to pinpoint just one person. The first people I would look at would be my family. I've been brought up by two great parents, I've had 2 great sisters, and been brought up to be respectful and be integral, be honest, support your community, be a community-minded person, be a leader in your community. So I would say my family first and foremost. When it comes to my sales industry, I've had so many great co-workers that have helped me in my sales career, some sales managers, in the past 15, 20 years, great people, and I would point at them. But for me, it comes down to one thing, and it's not someone, it's something. And for me, it's my community. The love and pride I feel for this community, the fact that I've lived here all my life, the fact that I want every kid that wants to stay on this island to have that opportunity. That's why I'm here, Adam. And in 20 years' time, if I can look back and say I made a difference, and some of these young kids are still here today, then I've done my job. So yeah.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground in a short time, and I figured that would be the case, Shawn.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming in, but I want to ask you, is there anything else you'd like to add about all of this or about the campaign just before we wrap up?
No, I just want to thank the people of District 1. They've been receptive. They've been good to me, invited me into their homes. We've had numerous good conversations. I've loved seeing them all. Hopefully, I'll see them more in the next 4 years, and I just want to thank everybody. Right? So, pour tout le monde, je vous remercie pour toutes les discussions, puis toutes les visites. Je vous souhaite toute la bonne santé, puis la joie, et merci pour tout.
Je voudrais vous remercier pour parler ici à Telile ce matin. Thank you very much for coming in, Shawn, and speaking to us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Adam, and thanks again to the staff at Telile. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, our pleasure.